My name is Chris Price. I'm the Vice Principal of Leyton Sixth Form College. My first job was as a paper boy, delivering papers in Nottingham, West Bridgford area. After that, I graduated to becoming a garage attendant. I worked in sewage. I had a job as a dustman. I've also worked as a fruit picker and as a labourer.
After I left university, I had a number of temporary jobs. I worked filing X-ray negatives at Bart's Hospital. I also worked in administration for the BBC in the radio section. Those part-time temporary jobs were very important in terms of gaining skills and experience.
After I graduated, I did some part-time work in and around Edinburgh, and then I applied for part-time work in a stockbroker's. It wasn't a very grand job. I spent most of the time operating a photocopier. But they liked my photocopying skills and they offered me a permanent position there. Whatever you start off at, it makes sense to do your best because, if someone's looking at you and they think, oh, this person seems to have some transferable skills, they might actually offer you a position. Within a year, they offered me a transfer down to London and I thought, well, that's an opportunity, so let's go for it and see what happens.
Lots of my friends went off to university, they knew exactly what their career path was, I had absolutely no idea. But because I was bilingual, I thought I might as well use my skills and decided to go and do a course in sign language interpreting.
My first job was one of a nursery nurse, and I got that immediately after I left college after doing a 2-year vocational course. Same provider as I actually teach on now, the same awarding body, Cash. 2 years, full-time study. I did a week in college and a week in placement, then went straight into a nursery job.
My first job was as a HR administrator, and I did that for a counselling organisation based in central London. I started it after I'd finished my degree, which was in business with area of HR, with a sort of combined degree. During the summers while I was studying, I would spend time temping through an agency. So I did admin work for various organisations such as a hospital, housing for the local council, and that gave me some experience to put towards my application towards this role as a HR administrator.
I did a test as a sub-editor, and what that means is you're given a text and you basically assess it for accuracy and offer some suggestions for improvement. Off the back of that, I got a job working for them. They realised I had a bit of potential, and so I moved on from that kind of relatively straightforward job to being an editor. And as an editor, I then worked with writers, and it was absolutely fantastic because these writers didn't want to give up their work, but I would go in, sit with them, and a bit like a teacher would persuade them to rewrite, to cut down, and to finally give it up for publication. It's a fantastic job, it's really rewarding, and the skills you need is kind of real interest in English literature.
I was a student here a few years back and I studied health and social care. I didn't know what I really wanted to do, hence why I chose it, because it still left my options open. They offered me an apprenticeship here at the college. It completely changed what I wanted to do, or what I thought I wanted to get into. Now I'm Marketing and Enrichment Assistant. I help with all the social media stuff. I book trips and visits for students, do all the open day events, everything that you can think of that a college needs to be able to promote itself.
Apprenticeships are an alternative route into employment instead of going straight to university or into more traditional forms of employment. Many young people are choosing this route. An apprenticeship is a way of working, earning a wage, but also working towards a qualification at the same time.
So I did an apprenticeship and I think it's the greatest thing I've ever done. It put me in a position that I'm in now and I'm very happy with what I'm doing.
STEM subjects, they bring together a wide range of skills. So you might learn something in maths that can apply to science, that can apply in a technology field. And because of that, those students studying STEM are well prepared for many of the careers that will exist in the future that perhaps don't even exist now.
My advice to young people who are not quite certain at this stage about what they want to do is to keep an open mind, to think and reflect about the kinds of values and characteristics that work will offer you. So not just about the pay grade, but about the kinds of things you want to do in life. Do you want to work with people? Do you want to be part of a community? Keep an open mind, but continue your studies. Studying is one of the most joyous things that I've been engaged in.
Follow your instincts, follow your gut, be sociable, network, get to know lots of different people, follow your passions, try out different things, and if it doesn't work for you, try something else. until you find a job that you're passionate about and you want to stay with long term.
Go initially for something that you really think is going to fulfill you. You know, in my view, you do only get one life, and it would be crazy not to pursue things that are going to give you pleasure and really stretch you and keep you interested.